Hajir.
Hajir is going to operate this meeting from this point forward.
Thank you, Bob. You have no idea how much I appreciate and admire you for what you're doing here, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
So,
At least there's one, Bob. I got one!
well, standing here is tough, and he's doing it every week, so I don't know how he's doing it. Well, the question that I've been asked pretty much in every party, gathering, clients is, are the interest rates going up? And I have an answer ready for this, but now these questions are leading to, oh, is this affecting the real estate market? Is this another bubble of 2008 happening? And things of that sort that I tried to find the answer to. So I did what we all do, and I Googled it. And 350 million results came up. And after, the AdWords, the Zillows, Redfins, and all of those, I got to some results that actually I could read it. And it was funny because it depended on if they're catering to the sellers or the buyers, the results were different. So I went to my trusted advisor and asked him to come up with the answers. So Frank is going to share that answer with us after I introduce our team. Legacy Circle of Bay Equity Home Loans, and if you can please go to the next one. And John Rainey is our first of the origination team. As you can tell, he was in the football team in the college in North Carolina. The funny thing about him is that back in high school, when he was in Laguna Beach, there wasn't even a football team, and he was playing basketball and baseball and volleyball. But I think they saw something in him, and he made it to be the captain of the team. So next is Garrett. Garrett Dwyer, you probably have seen him around here a lot, but he recently joined us. Thank you. And Garrett is just a volunteer by heart. I mean, he just volunteered for everything. And his recent gig is that he's running for the City Council of Aliso Viejo. So if you are in Aliso Viejo, please check his ideas up about the city and vote for him. And then he also volunteered to investigating injuries of the crab fishermen in Dutch Harbor, Alaska. And I studied physical oceanography, and I don't know what does that mean, but I'm assuming if you're catching crabs, you get injured because they bite you. Next.
Oddly enough, I still wear that jacket when the mood is right.
So last but not least, Frank Blakely, my partner for 12 years, business partner for 12 years. Correct. Make sure. A fact about him is that he has been with 24 Hour Fitness for many years. How many years?
I was with him for 10 years.
10 years. And he made it from trainer to sales manager and district manager. And while he was a sales manager, his team made a record of $200,000 selling of personal trainings that they come and sell it to you when you're at the gym. And that's still a record to this day after 15 years. Yeah. With that, I need three volunteers to pass the mic to Frank to answer the questions. From realtors, anybody? Volunteers? No? Bram? Bram?
We need 3 people.
We need 3.
Jim? All right, we got one.
Okay, thank you.
We need 2 more. 2 more.
Please.
Don't worry, we're not going to have you sing or dance or anything like that. You don't
want that.
One more. Oh, thank you, Jojo. Okay, here you go, Frank.
Thank you. Thank you. So that's actually my son Cole. So that's him playing Mufasa in The Lion King. So I'm like an avid football fan, and the only thing he knows about football is a stiff arm, because that's what he does to me when I want to talk about football. He's into plays. So yes, what we're going to do is we're going to have a little game show here. So we have 3 questions that will be coming up. You have your paper to write on the back the answer, and they are multiple choice because we're not trying to fool anybody, but that will lead into our presentation day. But before we do that, I want to talk a little about Hajir. So yeah, Hajir has been my business partner for 12 years. But one of the interesting things about Hajir, when he first came to the US, his first concert was Metallica. So believe it or not, that was his very first concert. So even though he may seem serious, he has a whole other side to him, but he does have a poker face. So he's very good at poker. When he said, hey, Frank, it's not gambling to me, I was like, I'm out. I'm not playing poker with you. So let's go into the biggest. Here's our team as well. So we have our marketing manager, Corinne Josepher, Garrett Stoffel with the video. He does our videos. He's our open house concierge, and our processing team and operations team here as well. So the biggest question, I'm sure you guys would agree, is what's happening with the housing market right now?
Crisis.
Yeah, I know. I went right into it. It said crisis. I read. So is it a crisis, or are prices just being reduced, right? And I think people, what they focus on really dictates how they feel about this. So if they see a price drop, what do they look at? Only the price drop. They don't look at what the price was before the drop, right? And so we have to have a redirection of what is happening in the market to be able to say some facts. So our first question here that we have for the three, what is the average historical appreciation rate for homes in the United States? 3.6%, 4.2%, or 8%? In the United States, historical average appreciation rate. And write it down. Yep. Yeah, exactly. As everybody whispers it. And when you have it, okay, you got it? Okay, so let's go ahead and show those cards. 4.2, 3.6, and 3.6. Average historic appreciation is under 4% or 3.6%. So can you give them the prizes? So we got two prizes for it. We have back scratchers. We scratch, wait, I'm not gonna even try that. And we have headphones. So go ahead and pick which prize you want as I go into this. So what's important about this is the historical number. What's important is that people, again, it's perception versus reality. On the left here in the bar, you're gonna see what the average home price sold for from the year 2000. So we had this big jump, hit a peak, and then we slammed back down, which was the crisis. But look at this on the right side, if homes would have continued to appreciate at the average of under 4%, where would we be now? Not too far off if the crisis never happened. Again, perception versus reality in our market. And people, the housing crisis is still fresh for a lot of people. Would you agree with that? They go back to it and then you're like, oh my God, are we going back into the same thing? And what's hard is a lot of us were in that industry during that period of time. And we're afraid sometimes to go, hey, it's not the same, right? And we have to be able to deliver facts and information to overcome that emotional tie of what happened before. So the next question is, what was the interest rate in the year 2000?
I was in high school.
10.1%, exactly. 8.1% or 13.7%? You guys ready? Okay, show them up.
8.1.
Whoa, 8.1%. 8.1%, unanimous. That's what everybody got it right. So here are the numbers. 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010, 2016. Here was the actual rates during that period of time. So last year, what happened with interest rates? They went up about 0.5%. What happened this year so far? They went up another 0.5%. And what happened with people? Oh my God, interest rates are high. Really? Right? Historically, we're still low. But the fact that they have to realize with this is the affordability score. So if you look to the right there, affordability is scored based on what is the average income in an area versus a 20% down payment for homes, right? So the affordability factor hit an extreme peak in 2016. 3.6% interest rates, rebounding from the housing crisis. It was a good time to buy, right? But right now we're mid-fours. It's still historically low. So last question. How many new homes are being built in Orange County?
For the year
8,600,
next year.
14,000 next year. 14,200 or 10,500 next year. Next year. Coming to the market.
Oh,
We would have got it. We can put a K on there. All right, Jim, you up? Okay, show them. All right, so we have 10,500, 14,200, and 10,500. 10,500 new homes come to the market, right? So thank you guys so much for coming up and participating. because that really helped us out. We do have bottles of wine for the three of you, as well as the back scratchers. But Corinne, who was the winner? Did you track it?
I got 3.
Well, I guess we got participation trophies today. They all get bottles of
I got
wine.
all 3.
You got all 3?
Yeah.
All right, Jim got all 3. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for choosing. Yes.
That testimonial for Hajir.
Oh, say it. Yeah. She gets,
Well, I was saying I'd like to give a quick
Not that.
testimonial for Hajir. My buyer just closed a loan with him last month, and he did it while he was in Russia at the World Cup soccer games. I was communicating with him, so thank you very much.
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So here's what's interesting to know about Orange County specifically. The other numbers are national. Is that we have 10,500 new homes being built, but look how many people are coming to the market wanting to buy homes. 30,000 new people coming to the market. So when we talk about home prices staying up, one of the first things that we say is supply versus demand. This speaks directly to that, right? So what are some of the possible roadblocks that are coming ahead for this so my take on this is that we had an extreme sale. We had an extreme sale that was happening with low interest rates, low home prices, and so obviously affordability is there. People are going to come to the market in masses, right? And so what happened last year, somebody would go make an offer on a place, and what would happen with that offer? 10 other people, right? And they're like, oh, I'm never going to do this. I'm never going to make it. Just in this last month, somebody goes to put an offer, likes a house, and they're like, there's no other offers. And what happens? They're like, oh my God, the sky is falling. What am I going to do? I should make an offer on this because nobody else is. Well, when you start going into a balanced market, that's called negotiations, right? That's a good thing for buyers right now. It's a healthy aspect of the market for all of us. The biggest thing that we have to be able to do is show some of these facts to get past the emotion so people can make their own decision on what they want to do with their family. Because if they go with the masses, well, masses fall off a cliff, that's not probably a good thing. So you have to make sure that they understand these things. So are we in a housing crisis? So we already went over the winners. So affordability is going to be one of the roadblocks in the future. The reality is that we just can't continue to have rising interest rates, rising prices, and still think that everybody can afford it regardless if it's in Orange County or not. So affordability is becoming a factor, but does that mean crisis? Can it mean slow down in appreciation, right? Doesn't mean even home prices are going down. So we have to be able to relay this information. Something else that we want to make sure we cover again is that when we talk to renters versus buyers, it usually revolves around payment, right? It's not necessarily always about long-term investment. In our consultations, we do that, and the reason is they get to see these numbers. Look at somebody renting at $4,000 a month and taking the same amount that they would pay in owning for like a $750,000 house, $4,900. This is Ladera. I did a presentation there, so that's why the PITI HOAs are a little bit higher. But if they took that $900 difference in payment and added it to an interest-bearing account earning 3.5%, and starting with $90,000, over 10 years it'd be $258,000. Versus buying, earning 3% appreciation and paying down your principal, the value of that house or the net worth in equity would be $521,000. That's double. So we talk about financial security, right investments, things like that. Owning wins, right? But everybody has their own decisions to make. So we go through a real estate report card so we can go through this information with all of our prospective buyer. I believe so many of us are losing opportunities because we don't know how to fight those objections with facts, right? So what we do is instead of losing somebody, we say, hey, just go talk, we'll go through the numbers. And if it moves somebody forward, we're making a decision that they feel is right, we go for it. If not, we stay in touch with them until they're ready to go, right? How the market, whatever it plays out. So we do a real estate report card. The other thing for you guys, if you want to so we have this presentation on video. We also have this marketing piece for flyers and handouts. If you want that, you can text Corinne and she can get you that information to be able to use when you're talking with buyers and sellers. So again, unless there's any questions, thank you so much for having us here this morning, and I'm looking forward to crushing it with you guys going into next year as well. Thanks.
Thank you so much, and really appreciate it when the lenders come up and give us really good information and not just our rate is this. So thank you very much from Bay Equity.